So, ma'am, I can't even share with you how excited I was for this session because of which country we are going to talk about. It's out of the
Yes.
box. It's something new, and I was searching online and I couldn't find any info on that. So I was like, okay, this is going to be really helpful. So thank you so much.
Most welcome. I just hope I can help you out in whichever small way I can. I will
Yeah.
help you as much as I can.
Thank you, ma'am. So let me introduce you guys to Doctor. So, guys, welcome to the 30th episode of the Dr. Batisi show. Dr. Shravya Shetty completed her MDS in oral and maxillofacial pathology and microbiology in 2016 and shifted to Nigeria in February 2019. And in July the same year, she started practicing general dentistry at UMC Zahir Hospital, Kano, Nigeria. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Yes, you are, you
Okay.
are. You're right.
And is currently practicing there too. Also, she visits and go on consultations for oral pathology cases on regular basis. So, a very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. It's completely a pleasure.
Thank you. Ma'am, my first very question, why Nigeria?
Why Nigeria? This is the most frequent question that I've been answering for a very long time, at least 2 years now. The thing is, I got
Exactly.
married and I moved here. My husband works in Nigeria he's been working for a good 6, 7 years now. So
Okay.
invariably, I had to shift here since he was here.
So, he is an Indian too?
Sorry, yes, he's an Indian. He's
Okay.
also, but he's not a dentist. He's nowhere
Right.
related to the medical profession, but he's an engineer and he's
Okay.
more into marketing. So he's
Right.
into pharma industry here.
Okay, right. So that is the main reason behind you are. So,
Yeah.
ma'am, so ma'am, what's your journey after BDS? How you shifted her, the exam, the license, the process you gone ahead with the visa and everything.
See, my visa process was not that much of a hassle actually, because that was
Okay,
done by my husband's company, because I came on a
okay,
spouse's visa
right,
in the very
right,
beginning. So every year they are the ones who are renewing my visa. So I didn't have to go through that complete hassle, because they take care of it every year. Whenever there is something called a SIRPAC, which has to be renewed
okay,
every year. So they do it. It has to be done at the immigration office and everything.
right,
That is at the Nigerian Immigration Office. So they
right.
take care of it completely. But if you are coming down to Nigeria for work per se, then you will have to apply for the work permit at the Nigerian embassy.
Okay,
So, yeah, initial visa process you will have to do through the embassy office, which is either in Delhi or in Mumbai, whichever. There are only two offices, so you have to go
okay,
there and apply for your visa.
right,
Yeah. Then you will have to go in for your biometric registration and everything. Once all that is clear, then you will be given your visa. You can apply for different visas. There is something called a STR visa also, but that's for a very small duration of time. That's for about 3 months. Then after that, if you get an employment here, then probably through your company or through your employer per se, you can, given for your visa for a longer duration of time.
right.
Probably you can renew it for every year. Otherwise, on an STR visa, when you're coming here, it's just for 3 months.
Okay.
And
So, ma'am,
regarding my journey and everything,
yeah.
yeah, after BDS, I had to take a 1 year break. I was working,
Okay.
I was studying for PG,
Okay.
entrance exams and everything. And when we started off, that was the very first year that NEET entrance exams were planned and scheduled and all that. But still, we had our CET and COMEDK and all that. So
Right.
through COMEDK, I got through my seat in SDM, and
Okay.
I finished my MDS. Post MDS, I was running a clinic in Mysore because my
Okay.
parents stay there. So I was based there for a good 2.5 years until I got married. I was
Right.
practicing. Just before the marriage, just about 5-10 days, I had to shut down, and then I had
Yeah.
to, come down. Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, you always wanted to do oral pathology?
No, I wanted to be an oral surgeon, but I think life had
Oh,
different plans.
right. Completely different, at least for what we are experiencing currently. So, ma'am,
Yeah.
how is the situation there regarding COVID, like in
As
general?
of now, yeah, as of now, it is much better. That is, at least when you come compare it to India, the number of cases have drastically reduced. We actually finished our second wave here in Nigeria. Our
Okay,
initial wave was way back when the entire world was grappled by, COVID. It was somewhere
right.
around March to May. And then on, we saw a drastic reduce in cases and everything. So people started, partying and having fun and everything.
Yeah,
So by November end, December, we started seeing a surge of cases. By Jan,
yeah,
it was at the peak again. And by Feb end, it came down. Now, currently, we are, kind of managing. It is not that severe, or it's
yeah.
not that many cases.
Mm.
So fortunately, yes, we are in a relaxed phase.
And
Hopefully,
you
we
are,
don't see a third wave.
yeah, yeah, hopefully. You are going through the vaccination drive also?
Yeah, quite a lot of the expatriates here have finished their first dosage, and
Okay.
thanks to India, that everybody was vaccinated with Covishield. So it
Oh,
was a gift
awesome.
from the Indian government to Nigeria, and
Yeah.
yeah, most of the frontline workers have been vaccinated with their first dose. Everybody is awaiting their second dose now. Hopefully, we should get it soon.
Right. So, ma'am, the plus and minuses of being a dentist in Nigeria. Nigeria is like we have discussed earlier, the business hub of Africa. So,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
are the pluses and the minuses of being a dentist in Nigeria? Maybe the currency, climate. I like want to know how is Nigeria through your eyes.
Okay, Nigeria, at least the place where I live in, that is in Kano, it is pretty much like India, A lot of Indians
Okay.
here. We at least have about 300, 350 Indian families. There
Okay.
have been Indian families that have been staying here for a good 6, 7 decades. Some of them
Oh,
consider Nigeria to be close to home than they consider India to be their home.
right.
There have been a lot of thriving business families here who have been here for a very, very long time now. So they have
Right.
literally become second citizens here.
Yeah.
So yeah, otherwise, see, even like India, no, here also the climate patterns change.
Yeah.
The northern part of Nigeria where I stay, it is a little bit hot and arid. You can compare it almost to Delhi, Rajasthan, that kind of
Right.
climate. And down south, it is more tropical kinds, it's
Okay.
on and off, there are rains, it's hot and humid. It's like
Right.
Bombay and all those coastal kind
Right.
of areas. Since it's also called as the giant of Africa because of its huge economic base.
Yeah.
It is the focal point actually, and the huge population. So that becomes a plus point for dentists here because the number of dentists here are quite low.
Okay.
Specifically, BDS you do find quite regularly, but MDS and specialists are quite a low in number. And even if they are practicing, they are more into academics and more into teaching
Okay.
hospitals.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, people do have a few number of specialists do have their practices. They are based in the bigger cities like
Right.
Lagos and Abuja. Abuja, by the way, is now the federal capital. Earlier,
Okay.
Lagos used to be the capital. Lagos is like Mumbai, your financial capital,
Okay.
and Abuja is like Delhi NCR.
Right.
It is more like the political hub. But
Yeah.
it's a well-planned city. It's a beautiful city, is what I hear. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
I hope to visit soon.
Right. Ma'am, how
Yeah.
about food, the culture, the lifestyle? Like being, having spent a day in Nigeria, how does it look like?
Having spent 2 years almost now,
Yeah.
the locals are really, they're very down to earth, very sweet kind of people.
Mm.
Predominantly, they have a very spicy kind of food
Right.
pattern that they follow. They have something called peppers. They're also called
Okay.
pepe in the Nigerian language.
Okay.
They make something like a paste that is more like a chutney. So they
Hmm.
consume it a lot. And more predominantly, they have something called cassava. Cassava is nothing but your yam. So
Okay.
that is the staple form of food that they have. They boil it like how we boil aloo and we
Right.
have, no? They have
Yeah.
something like that. Then yeah. Then they have something called the pounded yam. They boil the yam, they pound it, and they make it into balls and they eat it. Like how we
Okay.
have roti and sabzi,
Yeah,
they have that
yeah.
pounded yam with their curries. There are various curries.
Okay.
Like Indians, even they love their curries. And
Right.
there are various soups, fish soup and all that is very popular.
Okay.
Yeah, they're more into plantains, your bananas, your tubers, yeah, and meat. Meat is quite a staple here. More like
Right.
tandoori. They really love tandoori. They do a lot of barbecuing and all that.
Oh wow. And of
So even
course,
they like
ma'am,
spicy fish.
yeah, I'm completely like know the fact that the wildlife of Africa, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
it's diverse, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. But fortunately or unfortunately, I've still not been to any of the wildlife reserves because of
Okay.
the lack of time.
Right.
Even if there are holidays, because I have to, cope with my husband's
Schedule,
time
I guess.
schedule, it gets a
Yeah.
little difficult because from the place where we stay, it is a little far to get to the reserves. There are three
Right.
reserves. One of them is Yankari Forest Reserve, which
Okay.
takes a good 6 to 8 hours to travel. So when
Okay.
you have one weekend, it gets a little difficult to go back, spend time there, and come back. So
Yes.
hopefully, sometime in the near future, I will get to visit it. Then probably I'll
Sure.
be able to give you a better picture.
Right. Ma'am, what is the currency there?
It's called Naira, Naira,
Okay.
Naira.
And one rupee would be how much naira?
Approximately 6.6 rupees because you have to convert
Okay.
it to the US dollar and then
Yes,
you have to
yes.
convert it to the Indian
Indian.
rupee. So it comes up to 6.6 naira approximately. Yeah.
Okay. And ma'am, how does
On an average, yeah, on an average, you can take it up to 1,000 rupees will be approximately 6,000 rupees kind of, as on
right,
today.
right,
It keeps
right.
changing every
Changing,
day.
yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Ma'am, so being a dentist in a hospital there, what are your timings? What do you exactly do? How being a dentist your day looks like in that hospital?
The thing is, I actually work as a consultant doctor there, as a
Right.
consultant dentist. So usually, what I prefer to do is I prefer to pile up my cases, and I tend to do my cases. I start working anywhere between 10:30 in the morning to sometimes it goes up to 4, it goes up to 5, depends on the number of patients. But off late,
Right.
because of COVID, I choose, not to pile up cases. I just take one to two cases, maximum 4 cases in a day because I need to keep that interval between patients.
Right.
Whether there is COVID or not, I have to take all my precautions given the scenario.
Exactly.
So I make it a point to, curb down the cases and divide it throughout the week. Yeah, usually, if it was not COVID, then usually anywhere between 10:30 and 5:36 in the evening, we would be going in. But yeah, sometimes there have been times when I'm back at around 8:39 in the evening as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, ma'am, what difference do you feel, particularly in the dental practice between India and Nigeria?
Ah, the competition is not that much there.
Right.
In every street in India, usually you will find at least 2 or 3 dentists on a
Ma'am,
general.
now it's five or six at least, or more.
Yeah, but here the number of dentists are comparatively less. So, yeah, there is
Hmm.
not that much of a pressure. People are more understanding, and since they are more aesthetically inclined, they like to look good. They like to have golden crowns. They want that tint when they
Yeah,
smile and everything.
and they
It
have
shines.
specifically white kind of a teeth because
Yes,
yeah,
and yeah,
particularly.
they also, yeah, particularly that very white kind of thing. Probably because of the complexion, it seems to
Yes.
appear so. But
Yes.
then, like you normally would expect, there are protrusions and
Yeah.
everything. But on an average, dentistry here is quite good. It could be lucrative depending on how you want to make it.
Exactly.
The other difference that I would say is in of root root canals and everything, rather more
Okay.
conservative way of doing stuff. But here, of late, people are becoming a little aware. There are still people who are not quite aware of saving teeth. The first thing they
Right.
come and tell you once they have pain is, doctor, please pull out the tooth. It's troubling me
Yes.
a lot. So you have to actually counsel them and tell them that, no, there are better options that we can do. We can save your tooth rather than removing the tooth. Then they're like, okay, we never knew that these options exist. So that way, yes, and they're very compliant that way. You tell them this time they're supposed to be there, they will come. They will not miss their appointment. They're very regular. That
Right.
way, it's very good. Yeah, but yeah, they want their tooth to look beautiful, to look more white. They come and ask you, doctor, how can I make my teeth more white? So sometimes I have to actually tell them, your teeth are already white. Why do you need to
Right,
make it more white?
exactly. So,
Yeah,
ma'am,
that's
what
right.
are the most common dental problems people have there? Like in India, we can say it's oral cancer, or we can say like that. So, in Nigeria, what is their common dental issue that could be that you found out?
What I have seen in the last 2 years is dental caries.
Oh,
Very
okay.
predominant. It is the most common disease throughout the world, and still it remains so in Nigeria.
Right.
Probably because of their food habits, probably because of
Yeah.
lack of awareness. But now people are getting really aware, and they know how to maintain their teeth and everything. So that way they are becoming aware. They are coming for their 6 monthly checkups, 1 yearly checkups, and periodontitis. These are the two very common ones. In the last 2 years, I have hardly seen about 2 or 3 cases of oral cancer in
Oh,
Nigerians per
wow, that's
se.
great.
That's a very surprising thing. See, I
Yeah.
studied in Dharwad, where I would see a lot of cancer cases
Just in one
on and off,
day.
on and off. Yeah,
Yeah.
just in one day. And I thought there would be similar situation here, so I came all prepared and everything. But
Yeah.
it was very surprising, and
Hmm.
thank God it is not like that.
Right.
Probably people here are not into a lot of tobacco chewing habits
Tobacco,
and everything.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, because of that, probably we don't see that many cases of oral cancer yet. Just a few cases of precancers, that too in patients who smoke and everything. Otherwise,
Yeah.
no, very, very rarely. It's mostly dental caries and periodontitis only that I have seen.
Okay. And ma'am,
Yeah.
regarding the language, like specifically Germany are very, very particular about the language. So what about Nigeria? Like you have to speak their language or they're okay with English? Or some do they
No,
know
they are.
Hindi?
Oh, yeah, they do know Hindi. That's a very surprising thing. Actually, the official language is English. So
Okay.
99% people do speak English. But the older folk,
Right.
some people cannot speak the language. The regular language that they speak in the northern region is called Hausa. There's Fulani.
Okay.
There are many different languages. There is a version
Right.
of the English language called the Pidgin language that's more commonly
Oh,
spoken in areas of Lagos and everything. That's a little difficult to catch. It probably takes a little bit of time. But otherwise, yes, if you get used to it, you end up speaking the same English. Otherwise, even your
right.
regular English would do.
Okay.
And yeah, when you go to since there have been Indians for a very long time settled here, there are people who have managed to learn Hindi. You go to the local markets, they'll ask you Namaste. I've
Oh.
not heard that much Namaste in India like I've heard in Nigeria. That's the way of saying hello and their respect
Right.
towards Indians. You meet
Yes.
any Nigerian, they know that you're an Indian, they will say Namaste. And they'll
Uh,
say, Kaise hain aap? And they will ask you,
okay.
if you go to the vegetable market, they will tell you all the possible names of the vegetables in Hindi. They'll
Hindi.
ask you, matar
Oh.
chahiye, aloo chahiye. They'll ask you, shalgam chahiye. They will ask you, shakarkandi chahiye. So
Okay.
sometimes there are I being a South Indian, there are sometimes words that I don't follow in Hindi. Then I have to see the
Right,
vegetable
right.
and you said, okay, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, they are quite friendly that way. Very, very friendly, I must say.
Right. Ma'am, what are the scope and job opportunities before I move forward with this? How you got into the hospital? And what were their
Actually,
criteria, eligibility?
yeah, actually, I try. There is in Kano, especially, there is a teaching hospital here, but their requirement was a PhD. Despite having
Ah,
an MDS degree, they wanted me to have a PhD degree for me to join as a staff. which
Right.
unfortunately I did not have. So
Yeah.
they told me that you might have to enroll for a residency program in that case, and the residency program goes on for 3 years. So that was not quite a viable option because my husband has a job here. Today he's here, tomorrow he might be in some other state of Nigeria, or he
Yeah.
might even choose to quit. So in
Right.
that case, it did not make sense to me. So rather,
Yeah.
I chose to stay away from academics and start with
Right.
general dentistry rather.
Yeah.
So I did apply at a few regular clinics to see how things work here, and just I spoke to a couple of doctors. In the meantime, I got to know that there is one hospital here which is run by a joint management by Nigerians and Indians.
Okay.
So when I submitted my resume there, they asked me if I could come and join because they had all the equipments ready, but they did not have somebody who they could trust and
Trust and
start
yeah.
off with the unit. So
Yeah.
as soon as I gave my resume, I went, I met them, and they started off. They were happy with the resume since I had a little bit of clinical experience of about 4.5 years approximately. That is post my BDS and post MDS
Yeah.
too. They were, convinced that I could possibly run the entire
Practice,
unit.
yeah,
So
the unit.
yeah, so they started with my registration process and everything, and they immediately set up the unit. They gave me the full power. They asked me what all would I require, what are the extra stuff I would require, and from where I would want to bring it on. Because sometimes you don't get equipments in Nigeria, so you have
Yeah.
to either bring them in from Germany or from Ghana or from India. Most of the
Right.
dentists here bring it either or from China too. So most of them, what they do is they import stuff in bulk from China or Germany or Ghana or from India or Pakistan. So since I was a little familiar already with procurement
Yes.
and everything in India, I chose that I could do the stuff from India because we had quite a
Thank
lot
you
of
so much for
doctors and
that.
everybody
Yeah.
coming in through India, so we could somehow manage to bring in the stuff from India and start practicing there.
Right. Ma'am,
Yes, yeah. Initially, it was a little difficult because I didn't know the language. I had to, have somebody who would translate for me. Even now, I can't completely understand the language. I catch a few words, but I manage now. Yeah.
right. Ma'am, so BDS is in India. So a dental student in Nigeria, what is the course? BDS is also there, or what is the
Yeah,
course?
BDS is also no, it is BDS only.
And it's 5
Yeah,
years only.
apart from BDS, you have to do a residency program for about 1.5 years in the
Okay.
local teaching hospital. Then you will be given your practicing license and your registration there. Apart from
Right.
that, there are other courses like dental technician and dental hygienist
Yeah.
course also. They eventually end up doing assistant work and they assist
Right.
in labs and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do that. Some
And
of them manage to learn nursing side by side,
right, right.
and they end up into nursing jobs as well.
And ma'am, do they have MDS also if they want to go ahead with that? Is MDS there?
Yeah, it is there. Like I told you, they will have to
Yeah.
do a 3-year residency program.
Okay, right. So,
Yeah.
ma'am, now the question is the scope and job opportunities for BDS from India in Nigeria.
It is a must. I must say because the number of dentists are quite less in Nigeria. If you're ready to come here, work it. I mean, you have a lot of opportunities here, definitely. But again, depends on you if you're ready to invest that much amount of time here. If you're alone or if you have a spouse together, So for me, it was an easier way because my spouse was here. But if you're coming down alone, you will have to, plan how you want to go over the next 4-5 years,
Right.
how you want to plan your life. It depends on that. But if you are very focused, you want to come down and you want to start practicing here. Yes, there are opportunities that you will invite you with open arms. So many people want treatments,
Okay.
and they love Indian doctors and they want treatment from Indians also. So that way, if
Right.
you come down, yes, you have a lot of opportunities that are open for you.
So, ma'am, if we want to set up our own clinic there, it's easy for us to do, or we have to go through a lot of protocols?
Again, like I said, if you're open to, staying here, investing here for a good number of years, at least 15, 20 years, then, and if you can make that much amount of time and that much amount of money, then it is lucrative. But if you're here for a short duration of time, then you have to think about the investments that you're making.
Right.
Sometimes you will get investors here itself who will tell you that they're interested in, investing with you, and then probably in a partnership or something, then you can do it. But what I would suggest rather is first you come down with a job or something. Try and see if you get job opportunities at the various hospitals or clinics that will keep giving you opportunities. Come down, see at least for a year or two, and see how you get adjusted to the place and everything, the weather and everything, with the patients. If you get acclimatized, then you can probably think if you want to spare a good number of years in Nigeria, and then probably you can take a call. Otherwise, the best possible opportunity is joining a clinic or joining a hospital as a staff there. That way you do not have that hassle of, or you do not have that backlog at the back of your mind that okay, I have invested so much money, will I get enough out of it? That you will not have. If you're a permanent resident here, like I said, there are a lot of people who have been staying here for a very, very long time. And in that case, it will not be an issue. But if you're coming down new, you're going to settle here for a very long time, then it is okay. You can still think about it. Because when you invest, you bring in stuff from other places and invest here, it becomes double of what you invest in India. So you have to calculate all that and then think about it.
And ma'am, what about non-clinical jobs? We can do that also, if not the clinical.
Non-clinical jobs like what? Like
any, maybe insurance, marketing. I'm not sure what are the available there.
Yeah, there are opportunities galore. Yes, you can do hospital management. If you have done a course on hospital management, you can do that, because hospital industry is one industry which has, it has actually grown at a very spiraling rate in Nigeria. Because what happens here is, since there are not many specialists here, people usually fly out of the country and they want to get
for the
their treatments. Most of them come down to India, the UK or the US, even Egypt for that matter, and they get their treatments done. So now what they're doing is, since the number of doctors are increasing, the number of specialists are increasing, even we have doctors flying in from different parts of the world who come and do camps and who come and do short-term visits, For them, many hospitals are coming up. So if you are interested in hospital management and everything, yes, that is also a very good option for you that is open.
And ma'am, what about MPH people, Masters in Public Health? That's a good option too in Nigeria?
That is a good option, but then you have to tie up with the government, because here most of the health programs and everything are actually conducted by the federal government health department services. So you have to probably consult them, and I am not sure about MPH because I have not read up about it, or I have not come in contact with anybody who can suggest me. But if something comes up, I will definitely let you know.
Sure. Ma'am, there is a question like, how much dentists earn in Nigeria? What do you have to say about that?
Like I told you, it depends on how dynamic you are and what you can make of it. If you're ready to go out there, if you're ready to be down to earth, be respectful, and give out the various treatment options, people will just come to you from anywhere, far and wide, through different states. But if you're not ready to work it out, if you're not ready to work hard and create a rapport with the locals, then things will get a little difficult. Like I said, it all depends on how you work, how you want to be, what you want to do. Give them a galore of options, make it available to them, definitely they will come to you. I have patients who have come down to me to different states, and through their contacts, people have come to through the neighboring countries like Chad and Benin as well for consultations. Yes. So if you're open to it, if you're very respectful, very down to earth, if you tell them nicely, definitely people will, it's like the word of mouth. People will suggest you. They will, they will pass on that this doctor is good. And yeah, it depends on how you work. But yes, dentistry is definitely lucrative. I cannot give you a figure per se.
Yeah.
But yes, it is lucrative in Nigeria. Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, so what do you plan, like your future plans? Do you plan to return, or you ever wanted, like you always wanted to move abroad, or it was just, life's another plan?
Life had another plan is what I would want to say. As of now, the plan is until and unless my husband is here, I have to keep myself occupied. I have to, continue doing what I'm doing. But eventually, probably when we think it's the right time to move back to India, we might move back to India. But till then, yes, we enjoy being here. We enjoy doing what we are doing. He is enjoying his work and I am enjoying my work. So yeah, as of now, there is no plan of returning at least. So let's see what the future holds. It's too early to comment.
Right. So thank you so much, ma'am. I think you have answered all the questions very beautifully, and I'm really grateful to you for this conversation.
Yeah, Jasmine, I would also like to add a note for the BDS graduates who want to, come down and try their hand out at dentistry, who want to apply for their registration. If they are just a BDS qualified doctors, then they would have to come and give an assessment exam that is conducted by the MDCN, that is the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria.
Okay.
So they will have to give theory and practicals. Theory will be usually MCQ questions, but practicals they will have to do case histories, and they will have to do a oral surgery, pedia, and OMR cases. They have to do that for practical exams. They will not have a viva voce per se, but yeah, after their assessment, after their examination, the work and the test. After that is done, they will be eligible for registration after they pass their exams. That is mandatory for only BDS. But if you're already an MDS, that is, if you're a specialist, then you can probably enroll for a temporary registration.
Okay.
Yeah, that temporary registration licensure will, it has two things actually. One is a temporary registration, one is a limited registration. A limited registration is for one wherein doctors fly in for a small period of time, say within 3 months they finish their work and they go back. Like you have consultants and doctors coming in for camps, for health camps. The limited registration is for doctors flying in for a small time. That registration will be valid only for 3 months' time, and that will cost you approximately about, I think, 40,000 naira. And plus if you want, you can keep renewing it. 40,000 naira will be approximately 7,000 Indian rupees. And that's only for a small duration of time. Apart from this, you have something called your provisional registration and your full registration. Your provisional registration and your temporary registration will be valid for a period of good 2 years' time. If any MDS specialist wants to come down here and practice, I would suggest they go in for the temporary registration, so that you can renew it on or before at least the 31st of December every year. Probably the initial amount of registration will be somewhere between 135 to 150. The temporary registration will cost about 135,000 naira. That approximately comes around 70,000-80,000 rupees. Plus additional charges. So you might require your proof of birth, that is your birth certificate, your 10th standard marks cards, your degree certificates, your dental registration at the DCI, that is the country of origin. This is specific for the foreign doctors who are coming in. Then you might require your the page of your, a photocopy of the page of your passport, wherein it is countersigned by the immigration department stating which day you have actually entered Nigeria. Yeah. Your work permits and your what do you call it? Your appointment letter from your employer, and a signature from the embassy on the same. that is from the Indian Embassy. If you provide with, along with the letter of good standing from your DCI back home in India, that is your state dental council, if you just provide these details, it will be easier. It is hassle-free. You don't have to give exams if you're an MDS.
Okay.
But for BDS, assessment exam is mandatory.
Okay. Ma'am, there is one question that can we take masters in clinical subject there? Like maybe I think endo surgery.
Yeah, you can, but then again you will have to enroll and you have to do a residency program for a period of good 3 years' time. Rather, if you've already finished your BDS in India, you will be better equipped is what I feel.
Yeah, okay. I think, ma'am, there are no more questions. So, yeah, thank you so much, and especially for the last note, thank you so much.
Most welcome. I hope I could assist you with whatever queries you had. With my limited amount of knowledge, I could tell you whatever I could.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Please stay safe. And please do visit the wildlife reserve there.
Yes, I will update you on the same at the earliest.
Sure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.